channel that is smooth like a floss, Slaf. So here I am with another uh, video lecture on a new subject. We are starting at another subject. We will be taking along oral surgery, but I wanted to start another subject with you guys. So we are starting our oral histology. For oral histology, I'm going to use the book Tencate'S. This is the cover photo of the book, okay, by Antonio Nancy. I'm going to use this book for my lectures and videos. So if you guys have any query or any question that isn't clear to you guys, so you can always refer to this book. Look up to this book, okay? So moving on, the chapter that we are going to start is structures of oral tissue. In structure of oral tissue, we will be studying tooth and its part, that is enamel, dentine, and pulp. Then the second part of this lecture will be supporting tissues of the tooth, which involves periodontal ligament and cementum. Then we'll start our third lecture, the third part of this, which consists of the surrounding structures of the tooth that involves salivary gland, oral mucosa, bone of the jaw, and TMJ, that is temporomandibular joint. The fourth part of this lecture will be also the last part, and it will consist of hard tissue formation and its mineralization. Okay, so this chapter consists of four parts. In this video, we will cover the first two parts, that is tooth and its structures, and then supporting tissues and what are the supporting tissues. We'll cover these. So okay, so the first part is the tooth, and the tooth constitute approximately 20% of our oral cavity, and it helps in speech and mastication, and in some mammals it is also used as weapon of attack. It is hardly and firmly attached to the bone, and it consists of three parts. Like it has three substructures in it. If you look at this diagram, it has enamel, this white portion, then this light pink portion is your dentine, and this red portion is your pulp. So it consists of enamel, dentine, and pulp. We'll be studying these three structures separately as well in upcoming slides. So in humans especially, there is limited succession of the teeth. Humans have smaller, still humans have small size teeth, and they are called deciduous and primary teeth, and then they are replaced by a large permanent teeth. Okay, the permanent teeth that grows in place of a milk tooth. Deciduous teeth or primary teeth are also called milk teeth. So permanent teeth grows in place of a milk tooth, and these permanent teeth then replaces the primary set of the teeth during the natural process of tooth development. Okay, so and teeth also vary in shape and size, but histologically they are same. That means we have different size and shapes of teeth, like we have incisors, canines, molars, and premolars. So they all have different shape and different size, but when we have a histological section of these teeth, they're going to be same. They're going to be have same histological section. Okay, so now the first part of tooth, that is your enamel, is an eccentric hard tissue. It is highly mineralized and a highly mineralized tissue of the body, and consists of organic minerals and inorganic crystals, which are about 96%, and these inorganic crystals are in the form of apatite crystals. The enamel is formed by blastic cells. They are responsible for the formation of enamel, and when the tooth erupts in the oral cavity, they are lost, thus leaving behind a non-volatile, insensitive enamel that cannot be regenerated or replaced. The inorganic content in the enamel that is present in the form of apatite crystal is packed within the enamel in different settings, like they are packed in different patterns to create enamel rods and interrod of enamel. If you see in this picture, this is one pattern set of enamel, and this is another set pattern of enamels. This is enamel rod, and in between these two enamel rod, this different setting is called interrod enamel. Okay, the enamel is an insensitive and non non-volatile tissue, but it still allows some extent of ionic exchange between the tooth and its oral environment. So this was all about enamel. In enamel, we studied that it's an eccentric hard tissue. It consists of organic and inorganic content. Inorganic content is of 96%, and is present in the form of apatite crystal. Ameloblast are responsible for the formation of enamel, and apatite crystals are set in different patterns, creating enamel rods and interrods, and there is some sort of ionic exchange between the tooth and the enamel. So this was a summary, and now as compared to enamel is a more resilient tissue and forms the bulk of the tooth, and it provides support to enamel, and it also compensates for its brittleness. It is less mineralized tissue as compared to enamel and is elastic, have yellow-white color, and it is a avascular tissue which encloses the central pulp. If you look at this little cute tooth, this is that this cream color or light yellow color is your dentine, and this pink color is your pulp. So your dentine encloses this whole pulp. This whole central pulp is enclosed in dentine. Okay, so dentine forming cells are also called odontoblast, and dentine is a sensitive tissue, not insensitive tissue like enamel. It is a sensitive tissue, and it has the quality of repairing itself when the occasion demands. Okay, the odontoplastic cells around the pulp are stimulated to produce dentine as the occasion demands. Okay, now the last part of the tooth is pulp is a soft connective tissue. It contains blood, capillaries, veins, and nerves of the tooth. In comparison to dentine, the dentine and pulp are entirely different histologically, but functionally they are related to each other in four different ways. In a formative way, nutritive, protective, and reparative. In formative way, as pulp produces dentine that surrounds it. In nutritive way, since pulp consists of blood vessels and all the blood network of the tooth is present in pulp, so all the nourishment is provided to avascular dentine by the pulp. In protective way, it carries nerve that gives dentine its sensitivity. In reparative way, it is capable of producing a new dentine when required. Whenever there is any trauma, the pulp stimulates the dentine to produce reparative or new dentine to compensate the injury. So this was all about the parts of the tooth. Now we will have the second part of our lecture and have an insight about the supporting tissues of the tooth. The supporting tissues of the tooth helps the tooth to anchor itself into the bone. They are periodontal ligament, medial, cementum, and alveolar bone. Periodontal ligament, specialized connective tissue. It is also called as PDL. It connects the tooth to the bone and helps it anchor and plays its part as a shock absorber Along with that, it also withstand the forces of mastication. PDL consists of these collagen fibers. If you can see this purple color lining between this is bone and this is your tooth, and this purple color lining between them is your PDL, periodontal ligament. These consist as collagen fibers, and they have two ends. One end is embedded into the bone and other is embedded into the tooth, and these fibers helps the PDL to withstand the forces of mastication and also act as a shock absorber. Okay, so the last slide of this lecture will be cementum. It is also a supporting tissue of the tooth. It covers the root of the tooth and is interlocked with dentine. It is also a mineralized tissue and have a apatite crystal along with organic collagen matrix. Cementum forming cells are called cementoblasts, and cementum is of two types: cellular cementum and acellular cementum. The cellular cementum covers the lower apical portion of the root, and it has an adaptive role in the support of the tooth. And acellular cementum covers the your upper cervical portion of the root, and it helps to anchor the PDL fibers in the root. And this was all about the cementum and supporting structure of the tooth and tooth itself. Um, in the next lecture, we will continue our second, third, and fourth part of this chapter, which is surrounding structures of the tooth and the hard tissue formation and its mineralization. We'll see you in the next lecture. Do subscribe my channel, that is Smooth Like a Floss. If you have any query, you can always comment down on my comment section, and also go and follow up me on my Instagram page that is also with the name of Smooth Like a Floss. Thank you.